Hello everybody, my name is Sadiq Akhund, our group is the Sapiens, and welcome to our presentation. For the topic of our presentation, we decided not to go far and choose wind energy as a renewable energy source in our country, Azerbaijan. Hydrocarbons, which are the traditional source of energy used by the world for many years, are gradually being run out and thus make the use of alternative and renewable energy sources urgent. This includes energy from water, wind, sun, biological waste resources, or even sea waves, with the help of certain facilities. The advantage of using this type of energy is that it doesn't create any environmental problems and doesn't pollute the nature with any hazardous waste. The use of renewable resources is based on two important conditions: source of renewable energy and its presence in the area. Its presence mitigates the dependence of countries territories' economic systems on oil and its price. The favorable geographic location and climatic conditions allow the widespread use of environmentally friendly alternative energy sources in Azerbaijan. Wind energy is one of the most preferred renewable sources. Uh, After hydropower energy, despite ranking in top 20 among nations with crude oil proved reserves and top 25 when it comes to natural gas, Azerbaijan is moving ahead with developing renewable sources of energy. Boosting Azerbaijan's renewable energy sector will help the country meet its commitments to reduce greenhouse gases. Lately, the Ministry of Energy of Republic of Azerbaijan signed contracts with two foreign countries, Aqua Power or in other letter by letter ACWA Power and Masdar, which is based in United Arab Emirates, for the implementation of renewable energy pilot projects in Azerbaijan. However, these two are not only foreign companies interested in the renewable energy market of Azerbaijan, since in recent years this field has experienced extensive foreign investment interest from countries such as China, Canada, Turkey, the United States, as well as EU countries including Norway and Denmark. The attractiveness of renewable energy market of Azerbaijan to foreign investors, coupled with the government's aim to expand the share of renewables in energy supply, opens new doors to further opportunities in the future. Thank you very much. Now, my teammate Sabina will continue.
Thank you, Sadiq. So let's start with my part. Renewable energy sources gain attention from all around the world, and its share in global energy market is on the rise. So Azerbaijan, as a fossil fuel abundant country, also joined this trend with the interest to increase its renewable energy share in local electricity production. So, wind energy is one of the most preferred renewable sources in our country. Considering its availability, environmental friendliness, and growing cost effectiveness, it has experienced massive growth over the years, being placed as the second most produced renewable energy source after hydropower energy. So, like any other sources of energy, wind energy has also has both advantage and disadvantage. Thus, it is in the responsibility of decision makers to minimize its disadvantage. So, starting with the positive impacts, lower carbon emission, a contribution to the diversification of energy supply, consequently energy security, job creation, as well as increasing spending on supporting industries and services are among the main positive impacts identified, especially under a growing threat of climate change and the need for urgent action. Wind energy as a mean of renewable sources is treated as a saver as well as a vehicle for sustainable economic development. So, thus, with the how can I say, deployment of renewables, including wind energy, countries can make a smooth transition from fossil fuel in order to achieve a lower emission, maybe. On the contrary, wind energy also comes with certain negative externalities, especially concerning environmental and social issues. So, wind turbines, if not planned well, for example, might adversely affect wildlife species, especially migratory birds. So, to overcome this problem, there is a practice of building wind turbines away from migration routes, as well as installing special sensors for bird detection, for example. Then, furthermore, wind farms also bring issues of noise and artistic pollution, which need to be dealt carefully. For example, another issue is concerned with land use. So even wind farms are not as land intensive, so polar panels, they still require a large area to be installed. Finally, I want to say that wind energy also has uncertainties concerning temporal availability. So, this future is certainly different from traditional fossil fuel, since power generation from wind requires suitable natural circumstances, and the situation might change from time to time and resulted in variations in power um, generated.
Thank you, Sabina. Now I'm going to talk about the potential of wind power in our country, which regions are useful for wind power, and which regions are biggest source of wind power. So let's get started. So the state agency of Azerbaijan, according to state agency of Azerbaijan, potential of wind power is 350 megawatts. Azer Energy OGSC is the main producer of electricity in Azerbaijan. Actually, the state now rely on wind power more each year. For example, for the first half of 2018, power plants of Azerbaijan produce about 13.5 billion kilowatt hours of electricity, which was around 2.6 percent more compared to 2017. Also, total commercial electricity that produced in the first half of 2018 was 3.1% more compared to 2017. The share of wind power will hit 28% in the 2020. So all these information shows that wind power will improve more for the next years. Azerbaijan is a very rich country because of its climate. We are oil dependent country, and that oil dependent country now looking for let's say new opportunities, better options, better opportunities, such as wind power. Some regions of Azerbaijan are very prospective for wind power. Uh, let's say they were promising places in Azerbaijan are coast of Caspian Sea, from northern Shabran to Sumgayet, Nakhchivan Republic, let's say Absheron Peninsula, and etc., are the source of wind power. Now, the state companies are now trying to working on new settlements. It's planning to create new wind power stations with the capacity of 512.5 volt. As I said before, it was 315 volt megavolt. And again, all of these information shows that some regions of Azerbaijan are very useful to create, to make, or let's say to build the new wind power station in Azerbaijan and work on it, improve it, and develop it. And yes, moreover, it's also notable to mention Motakke project, and that project was done by German company, between German company and Azerbaijan in Baku in 2009. It was one of the biggest project for the improvement, or let's say development of wind power. Location of that pilot wind farm is Yeni Yaşma, Absheron. No, that's no. Yes, that's all about my presentation. I have already gave information about potential of wind power, which places are useful to build our which regions of Azerbaijan are very useful to build new wind power stations, which regions are the useful source for to build new source of wind power stations. Now I want to give my turn to Muhterem, and now Muhterem will talk about current investment and cost of wind power.
In my part, I'm planning to talk about the current investments and the measures that our country takes. Then I will sum it up with the price of the turbines, and I will conclude my speech with brief analysis. So we have two types of axis turbines. One of them is horizontal and the second is vertical. Horizontal one is the most popular axis turbine, and we can see it everywhere in every country. It's wide and it have 3 or 4 wings when it's circulating. And we also have vertical axis turbines. These are not most popular ones, but they are still reliable, and it's recommendable when there is no strong wind conditions. Instead of natural gas, wind power is more reliable and it doesn't create stress to the environment. Taking into consideration that our country is dependent on oil and gas, transforming economy and nature to the wind power will be a best solution for our country. As our country is the South Caucasus' largest and wealthiest country, the government has already started to invest in renewable energies. Wind power is one of them. Also, different renewable energy companies have already invested in Azerbaijan. Arab companies and some European companies are the example of it. Being mainly wind power and including solar power, United Arab Emirates and Masdar company is planning to invest for $400 million to Azerbaijan. First and second phase of investments are planned to be invested in till 2022, and the second will be invested in 2030. I also want to talk about cost of the instruments. Even though prices decreasing day by day for the axis turbines, they are still very expensive. So the price of the horizontal axis turbines are starting from $1.3 million, and we also have $2.2 million axis turbines, but the ones in our country is starting from $1.3 million turbines. So they are not cheap, but when they are implemented, they are quite reliable to use. In the last decade, when oil prices were in the peak worldwide, Azerbaijan could have a chance to implement the axis turbines more lot, but we haven't, and we have a great potential since the Absheron Peninsula, the coast of the Caspian Sea, and Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic have a great quality resource to implement. The potential capacity of alternative resources in these regions estimated to be 8,000 medium voltage for solar power and 15,000 medium voltage for wind turbines. So it's a great potential and we have to use it. At the beginning of the decade, most probably there were no turbines in our country, But today, while we are visiting to the regions, we can observe them. There are several renewable energy sources implemented. We can take Baku-Shamak Road as an example. I personally observed 7 wind turbines and quite large area of solar energy stations there. Having both sunny days and windy climate conditions, we believe that our country will get one of the best results in near future in this area. That's all from my speech, and now I will uh, pass the speech to the Anna.
Thanks, guys, for your presentations. You made a great job and uh, give a brilliant information to us. And now uh, I will share my opinion and some facts, and I will sum up our presentation. Today, world is changing every day, and we all are the part of this changing in this technologic age. If human beings still believe they are the main features here, they should put their egos aside and think about future which is going through renewable energy. Our country is located in a very special zone which is reached by non-renewable energy sources, minerals, fertile soils, and etc. And also we have a great biodiversity in our lands. But we shouldn't forget that all sources for renewable energy come to this land every time, every day, even every second, like a wind. When I say city of winds, which city comes to your mind first? Yeah, I think we all think about the same city. For our future, we have to use renewable energy sources and get used to it. Let me share one interesting fact with you. Scandinavian countries, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden, are known as happiest countries in the world. When I search about these countries, uh, I found that about 83% of electricity generation in these 5 Nordic countries is low carbon, of which 63% comes entirely from renewable energy sources. Maybe their happiness are not directly related uh, to usage of renewable sources, but these facts gives us a hint about their lifestyles. I wanted to say you think about this. And uh, of course, being a country which produces its all energy with renewable sources is something special, and it is hard to reach target. But I think before that we have a problem, and I think uh, we need to change our minds. People need to understand the importance of situation. First step must take for making people conscious on that. I hope a bright, green, faithful future for all of us. And thanks for your watching.